Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Dana, you said this a little before the break, and you also threaded about it. You said Donald Trump's at a press conference saying Kamala Harris broke the world and the cameras are still rolling. This is why she won't give them her time, and it's such a smart move. And you said there's no need for her to talk to the press when most of them are doing Trump's bidding for him. It's like asking your ex who cheated on you for dating advice. I feel like that's something you've done. There's no point. She's reaching the American people. That's what matters. That's what I'm saying is there is this feeling of we just don't care anymore about what the mainstream media says or pundits. Like the Harris campaign is doing a better job than they're doing the press's job.
Yes. Absolutely. Whoever's their comms director is, I want to hug them. I want to buy them drinks if they're allowed to, or if they like to, just whatever. But this is the thing. She's reaching the American people, and everyone's like, well, we need to know where she stands. You know what? Do some research, because everything that press has done for Trump, I would never get an interview to a person that kept a camera on when Trump continues to lie to them over and over and over, pretending that this is normal. I think she's making a fantastic decision. She'll give an interview when she wants to. She'll give a press conference when she wants to. And I guarantee she'll take questions, unlike whatever he did yesterday at Bedminster. I'm sure Ivana Trump actually turned in her coffin.
That was
if she could. She's surrounded by classified documents. I don't even know if she can move in there.
I didn't fall. Okay. Just conspiracy. Okay. Or is it? Dana, yeah, I mentioned specifically, who was it? Cassie Hunt on CNN. This is before the Harris and Biden rally. She does a whole thing about, well, this is going to be very awkward, and I just think this is going to look bad, and she's trying to separate herself from him, and like, first of all, no, she isn't, and secondly, no, it wasn't awkward. It was fantastic, and you can see the mutual love and respect between them, and that's part of what's powering this. Is love for Joe Biden and that spontaneous "thank you, Joe" that broke out. I think people are sick of this mainstream media spin, right?
And so is she, which is why she's not feeding into it. I actually think it's a very smart move.
Yeah. You tweeted a picture of the rally in, was this in Asheville? And you said, I've had comedy shows bigger than this audience. The Trump campaign estimates 10 million people showed up to support him in North Carolina. That's in Asheville. It's a 2,000-seat theater. It's not even full.
Right.
They said 10 million? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You said Trump keeps saying, I have crowds no one's ever seen before. You said he's actually right, because literally no one's seen them because they don't exist.
I mean, he's telling the truth at crowds no one's ever seen before. No one's ever seen numbers this big before. That's true, because no one can actually see them. They're not there. They're not there, sir.
You can't even, this kind of crazy, that Kamala's crowds are AI. It's just, you can't write this kind of crazy. And then he just keeps doubling down. And I think someone finally asked him about it yesterday. And he's like, well, I don't know. I can't say. I'm not there. Well, right. But lots of people are there with lots of recording devices. So, But this
is what I will say. His base is not getting bigger. It's getting smaller. So the people he's reaching with his lies is getting smaller. So, yeah, he can say all these crazy things. The people that have now made a decision who they're voting for, I even think independents and libertarians and all these other people that actually care about democracy, they know who they are voting for. So let Trump talk about the crowd size. Let him talk about AI, because those people who believe this garbage are already voting for him. The only way we're going to change people is to have one-on-one conversations with them. And we've seen it on the Daily Beans. There's stories that have been written in about their family members who have voted Republican for decades. They're finally saying, I'm not voting for this guy, or I'm going to stay home this election. And great.
Yeah. I mean, right. Someone finally said, you said Harris crowd sizes were AI'd and there weren't people there. There's all kinds of video evidence and people who were there who've proven that false. Can you tell us why you made that claim? And he said, well, I can't say what was there, who was there. I can only tell you about ours. We have the biggest crowds ever in the history of politics.
God, I hate him so much.
But I mean, I think we should be glad, I guess, that he's so delusional. He's like, I'm way ahead in the polls. It's like, no, you're not. Okay,
I mean, yes. He gave a speech that said, I have crowds larger than Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. And apparently his dream is that he had crowds larger than Martin Luther King. That's his I Have a Dream speech. I have a dream of actually having crowds larger than Martin Luther King.
And you picked out the same thing we did at the top of the show. Trump said beyond 100% of new jobs are going to immigrants. In fact, it's a number higher than that. And you said, how embarrassing is this to the Republican Party? Your guy's a moron. I mean, even George Conway said, as mentally ill and crazy as he is, you can't help but be struck by his constant stupidity, too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he goes off that little thing in his head that needs to make everything bigger than it is. There may have actually been a factual percentage in front of him, but he can't stop there because he needs to make it bigger than anything's ever been. But then he's starting to talk about numbers that don't exist.
Right.
It's just he cannot stop himself. It's fascinating to watch.
Yeah. And then he threatened us all. Oh, he said Kamala is going to get us all free health care, which we're like,
Like, I'm already voting for them. They don't need to convince me anymore. Come on, y'all.
at some point, I'm like, are you working for the Harris campaign? Seriously.
I know.
What was the other thing we were saying? Just this stupid name calling, but that he's like, keeps mispronouncing her name on purpose, clearly to make it sound more boogity boogity black, foreign, like.
No, he's othering her.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's like 9 different ways to say it. He knows exactly how to say it. And the thing is, they're lemmings. So Nancy Mace, this idiot,
God.
is on CNN deliberately mispronouncing. What do they say? Kamala. Or like they just try to.
Or Kamala.
So, and she just said, I'll say Kamala's name any way I want to. I just did it and I'll do it again. I mean, he's made them as just as immature and mean as he is, right? He said,
Well, then Nancy Mace is drinking her coffee and like having some coffee after I've owned the libs. I'm like, you being racist is not owning the libs. It just makes you look racist.
Michael Eric Dyson said, you're normalizing that kind of viciousness. You're disrespecting the woman. And she goes, oh, now you're calling me racist. Like, this is their only card they can play, right? And so he said, you're a white woman disrespecting a black woman. I mean, and it's just so immature.
It really is. And after everything, they also pushed her on saying what Trump said at the Black Journalist Convention was out of line. And she couldn't do it because she's a cult. And everyone was like, you're part of a cult. You can't say it unless it gives you permission. And then Nancy Mace goes to what she always goes to when she's talking to men and says, how dare you speak to women that way? She pulls that card every single time.
Yeah. Oh, God. I know. Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to say, because we just were talking about the boxer in the Olympics, stuff that just is so mean-spirited. Somebody, I don't know which right-winger, Dana, had said that Jill Biden shouldn't go because, if he's not the candidate, then she doesn't get. She's still the first lady, and he is still the president, and that's just mean to go. She shouldn't be allowed to go to the Olympics. He's not the candidate anymore, so she's not. She's the first lady of the United States. I mean, it's just a party of.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I did not. You just talked about the divine Miss M. I didn't see this
Oh my God,
one.
this poem.
Dopey Don, you're such a bore, a wrinkled old attention whore. We know you're, before you say it, crowd-sized rapist, still you bray it, doom and gloom about our nation, crappy merch with your donation. We're sick of Putin's favorite suck-up. Now please sit down and shut the up. I need to hear that to music. Oh my God.
All gloves are off. Even our lovely Ted Lieu is starting to, send out more punches. He's always been sharp, but you can tell he's like, all right, gloves are off. Let's do this.
Harris and Waltz are showing how you alpha liberal. They're doing it joyfully, with humor, with intelligence, but they're not pulling punches. They're
and we have said it 100 times, even on this show, just 6 months ago, that Democrats were crappy at messaging, and now we cannot say that anymore because this campaign has been one of the most successful of my lifetime, hands down.
Yeah.